or this gangster music or whatever they listen to, what our little young boys do? We imitate that stuff. And so when we imitate that stuff, what happens? Then they go to jail, right? Then it's a repeated cycle. It's like you say, a generational curse, right? Because we are the examples, and we got to set a perfect example for our young brothers to follow. Because we used to be out here in the streets doing the same thing. We used to be doing the running, chasing women, doing the same thing. But a lot of we changed, right? And now we on this side, doing what the Lord said do. You are the salt of the earth, believe it or not, you the influencers of the world. Everybody want to be like the black man and the black woman, right? God said that you're the salt of this earth, but our people don't know that, right? Why? Because we've been so oppressed and so pushed down at the bottom by society. We think that we niggas. The spirit in that music. Our people listen to the music, the little young brothers in the neighborhoods listen to the music, and what happened? They listen to this, what they call it, drill music, or this gangster music, or whatever they listen to. What our little young boys do? We imitate that stuff. And so when we imitate that stuff, what happens? Then they go to jail, right? Then it's a repeated cycle. It's like you say, a generational curse. Give me 1 Corinthians 15, read that.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communication corrupt good manners.
That's what got our young brothers and our little sisters corrupted, right? This music and the stuff that they pushing on the TVs or whatever. That's why we got so many of us that's filled the jails, right? There's so many young brothers. Hey, I know in Memphis, because a lot of us from Memphis, a lot of these little brothers, 14, 13 years old, committing these crimes. Doing drive-bys and doing all this killing in the neighborhood. Doing all this robbing in the neighborhood and all this stealing in the neighborhood. Breaking in folks' house. Hey, don't have a care in the world for nothing. Right? Why? Because of this music that they push upon our people. Right? Like you said, they use the face of Jay-Z. They use the face of Young Dolph. They'll give them a few dollars, right? Because when they give them a few dollars, what are we going to do? Oh, I want to be like that. I want to be like that, right? Our little brothers, they look up to that stuff. We want to be like that, right? And then when we turn around and we start to act like them and be like them, they don't tell them what's going to come behind them. Either death or jail. Read it again.
Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
Those evil communications, God calls those things evil communications, right? Those things is what corrupt us. Look at our sisters today. Look at how our sisters dress, right? You go to the high school, you can go to the, what's the name of the high school over here? Jay had said, you can go to the high school, a lot of these little sisters dressed like grown women, right? Dressed like grown women. Where they learn that from? They learned it from the Beyoncés. Name some more of these rappers. Megan Thee Stallion, the Nicki Minaj, all sexy, especially Sexy Red. Glorilla, right? They learn all this stuff from the stuff that they see on TV. Why? Because we're visual people. And we see things and we want to imitate those things that we see. That's why so many young brothers want to be, when I was growing up, wanted to be Scarface, right? Brother wanted to be the biggest drug dealer on the block or whatever. But we learn that stuff from TV, right? We got to come up out of it and change our minds, right? Give me Romans 12. Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. Listen to what the scriptures say. Read that.
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
The Bible says, don't be conformed unto this world, to the ways of this world, because the ways of this world is wicked according to the Bible. Read.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
God said that we got to renew our minds, right? And how are we going to renew our minds? We got to figure out where we went wrong as a people and start to fix that and change that within our communities. It's going to take a lot of young brothers like you to stand up in the community for the young brothers where they can see examples. Because we are the examples, believe it or not. Right? Give me that in Judith. What's that? Judith 8 and 24. Judith chapter 8 and verse 24. Listen to what the scripture says. All right? Because we are the examples, and we got to set a perfect example for our young brothers to follow. Because we used to be out here in the streets doing the same thing. We used to be doing the running, chasing women, doing the same thing. But a lot of we changed, right? And now we on this side, doing what the Lord said do. Read.
The book of Jude, chapter 8, verse 24. Now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren.
Said do what?
Let us show an example to our brethren.
Let us show an example unto our brothers, right? Because they don't have nothing to look up to. Right? A lot of our little brothers and sisters, they look up to, like I said earlier, these rappers, these entertainers, right? The TV, right? That's all that we tuned into, and that's what we look up to. And you can see it got us destroyed as a people, right? A lot of our people don't even know who they are. They don't even know that they're the greatest thing that ever walked the face of this earth. The Bible says that. Give me Matthew chapter 5 and verse 13. Listen to what Christ says, right? Read this. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 13. Read.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth.
God said that we are the salt of the earth, right? He said that his people are the salt of the earth, meaning what? What does salt do? Without salt, you got no what? You ain't got no flavor, right? It's bland, right? God said that you the salt of the earth. Read again.
Ye are the salt of the earth, but the salt have lost his savor.
God said that you are the salt of the earth. Why? You do everything the best, right? Other nations copy you. Hey, look. Other nations copy us even in our wickedness, right? You see other nations want to be, they want to be gangbangers, right? You see little Chinese boy walking around with blue flags and red flags in their pocket, trying to be like what they see over here in America. You are the salt of the earth, believe it or not, you the influencers of the world. Everybody want to be like the black man and the black woman, right? God said that you the salt of this earth, but our people don't know that, right? Why? Because we've been so oppressed and so pushed down at the bottom by society. We think that we niggas, right? We think that we think that we believe that stigma that society put on us. But God said this. Read it again.
Ye are the salt of the earth.
God said that you are the salt of the earth. He said that we are a preserved people, right? You're not like no any other people. God said that I created you to be above all nations above the face of this earth, right? Read. Give me that in Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. God said he created us to be above all nations above the face of this earth. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. But thou art an holy people.
God said that we are a holy people, meaning what? Holy means to be what? We're supposed to be separate from everything that's going on in the world. But a lot of our people don't understand that. Read.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
God said he created us to be above all people upon the face of this earth. Right. Are we above all people now? No, we not. We at the bottom. Just like the brother was going over earlier today. Why? Why are we at the bottom? Our mentality, right? What else? Because of sin. God, it always goes back and refers to sin. What's sin?
Any type of thing you commit against Christ.
Any type of thing you commit against Christ. What you say, sis? What's sin?
Basically violating your commandments.
So you know, right? Violating the commandments of God, right? That is. That's what sin is. Give me sin. Come on.
The book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committed sin, transgress also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
God said that sin is the breaking of my laws. He said sin is the breakers of my laws. That's why we end up in these conditions that we in for breaking the laws, statutes, and commandments of God. Right. Just like we got children. You got children? Your children don't do what you say do. What you gonna do to them? You gonna punish them, right? They gonna get something, right? Just like what God said he do to his children. You didn't do what God said do. God said, I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna let these other nations come and do whatever they want to do to you. Put you in captivity, put you on them boats, take you all throughout the world, and let you go through all this affliction until you acknowledge those things what you've done to me. That's what God said in the Bible. He said that's why you go through what we go through. Give me Proverbs 13 and 20. I think that's what I want. Or was it 15? Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 20. Read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 20. He that walketh with the wise man.
15. 13 and 15.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 15. Good understanding giveth favor, but the way of transgressors is hard.
Read it again.
Good understanding giveth favor, but the way of transgressors is hard.
I said that the ways of sinners is hard, right? A lot of our people don't understand why it's so hard for them. Because why? We broke the laws, statutes, and commandments of God. That's why he made those things hard for us. Why? Because he wants us to wake up. He said in your affliction, that's when you're going to start to realize, hey, what's going on, right? Why this happening to me, right? Then God put us right here on these street corners to explain to our people why we go through the things that we go to, right? Give me Job 36. Job chapter 36 and 15. Job said it best, right? Read that.
The book of Job, chapter 36, verse 15. He delivered the poor poor in his affliction, and opening their ears in oppression.
See why we go through that oppression and that affliction? Read it again.
He delivered the poor in his affliction, and opening their ears in oppression.
I said, I'm going to allow you to go through those afflictions to do what? To do what? Open our ears, right? He said, that's when we're going to start to listen as a people. Because when you got it going on, you ain't trying to hear nothing. Right? God said, I'm going to allow you to go through these afflictions and go through these hard times to open your ears, right? Now you're going to start to open your ears and going to start to realize what's going on. Because a lot of our people don't know what's going on. A lot of our people following all this stuff that's going on in the world with the elections and all that. Either way that stuff goes, it's still going to be bad for our people. Right? God didn't give us that. He didn't tell us to vote. He didn't tell us to go vote for these people. God said, keep my laws. Keep my laws, statutes, and commandments and live. Give me Proverbs 7:2. This is how we live. You ain't living your best life because you live in a nice crib, or you might be driving a nice car, whatever the case may be. Right. God said that ain't living because we just surviving. Right? Read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 7, verse 2. Keep my commandments and live.
He said, do what?
Keep my commandments and live.
That's when we gonna live, right? When we keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of God.
That's right.
Anything outside of that, man, hey, you in the congregation of the dead, like the scriptures say. So we gotta change our mind, right? We gotta come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what's going to make us stronger as a people. As long as we stay in the midst of sin and doing what these other nations want us to do, we're going to stay at the bottom. We're going to stay weak, and we're going to continue to keep going through afflictions. We're going to keep seeing our neighborhoods look like this, right? We was once just like that. A lot of us changed our ways. When I heard this Bible, I changed my ways, right? When I heard this thing speak, when I understood that slavery was in the Bible, slave ships was in the Bible, the color of Jesus Christ, the color of all the prophets, even the Most High God, right? The Bible describes his skin color, right? Give me that in Daniel. The book of Daniel. Read that. The Bible describes the skin color down to a T. They don't teach us this stuff in church. They didn't tell us this. Why? Why not? Read that.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
He said, Daniel, this is Daniel, right? He see a vision. He said, I beheld until the thrones were cast down. Meaning all these other nations, all these kingdoms that's in rulership right now. China, America, Europe, all these thrones, he said he see them cast down. Read.
And the Ancient of Days did sit.
He said the Ancient of Days, he saw the Ancient of Days sitting upon his throne. Right? That's the Most High God, the Ancient of Days, because he older than time. Read.
Whose garment was white as snow.
Daniel said he see in the vision, he see him with a garment on that's white as snow. Churches like to teach you what? A spirit or a puff of smoke or whatever the case may be. But he said that he see one with a garment on, right? If you got a garment on, you got to have a what? You got to have a dog, you got to have a body. Read.
Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head.
He said he finna describe his hair texture now. Read it again.
And the hair on his head like the pure wool.
The hair on his head like the pure wool. So, hey, what group of people today got hair like pure wool? Us, right? Touch it, touch your hair. Right? That's your hair. Right? That's woolly hair. Right? You look like him. Right? We look just like his son, Jesus of Christ.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, His word,